PathMonk is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. PathMonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add PathMonk to your website in seconds, let the AI do all the work, and get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us on pathmonk.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Cláudia Pereira from Pixel Matters, marketing manager with them. How are you doing today, Cláudia?
I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
Thank you so much for being on with me today. And Cláudia, well, let's kick it off, right? I'm sure our listeners are tuning in, wondering what Pixel Matters is all about. So in your own words, can you tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. Pixel Matters is a software development agency. So we work on digital products from mobile apps to web apps to marketing websites. And actually the name says itself. So Pixel Matters. So we are very design driven. We create and stand out for creating top quality digital products while developing great relationships along the way. So we're not project oriented where we are ticking boxes. We actually look for building relationships with our customers.
Definitely important. And so that way our listeners who are tuned in, Cláudia, could get a good understanding there of Pixel Matters. What would you say is that key problem that you guys like to solve for clients?
Okay, so usually clients, different clients get to us. So in different stages of their products. We usually are an extension of their either engineering teams or design teams. And the main problems can vary from outdated products that they need to revamp in terms of technology, or they need to, like, for example, startups, they need to get their digital product on the market and they have a specific deadline. Or they're at, like in the startups, they're bringing new products to market. So usually these are the main problems that we handle in terms of development and design for different types of companies and in different types of stages.
Definitely. Okay, great. And so then, is there a certain vertical segment? Is there an ideal ICP that you guys like to focus on?
Yeah, we are currently focusing mainly on mid-market and enterprise. And usually our ICPs go from, in terms of company size, from 50 to 100 employees. And we are industry agnostic, even though we are currently positioning Pixel Matters in the current industry, that's healthcare, as a specialized partner for development services and design services.
Okay, great. And so how would somebody then usually find out about Pixel Matters? Is there a top client acquisition channel for you guys?
We have one top acquisition channel, like in every agency, in the agency world. We usually have referrals from previous clients or current clients. Let's say, for example, a point of contact could be a VP of product that leaves a company and goes to another company. And usually when there's a need to do either a revamp of their website or create a new mobile app, they usually refer within the company Pixel Matters. So that's one of our top acquisition channels. The other one would be Clutch. So Clutch is a marketplace for agencies. And usually we get a lot of leads through that platform.
Okay.
So I just wanted to add this, that we are dealing, as you would say, with a B2B environment. So usually our sales cycle is pretty long and we have multiple decision makers. So in terms of acquisition channels, it can vary depending on the persona that it is within the sales cycle. So yeah.
All right. So that way our listeners who are tuned in then could go ahead and visit you. They could always check you out at pixelmatters.com. What role does a website then play for client acquisition?
So usually our website is more of a confirmation role, a confirmation of the what type of partner we are, what type of approach we have in terms of development and design partnership. And usually they understand also what is our expertise. And usually what I'm referring to is usually top of the funnel, or personas that are on top. So VP decision makers, VP of product, CTOs, head of designs. The other part that we have on our website is actually brand awareness. So for bottom to top, so like designers and developers, we have a blog, we have a lot of content put out. It's not really focused at the moment on these decision makers that I just mentioned. Usually we put out content focused on designers and developers. So putting out content that's educational or sharing any tips in terms of development or design. So building a community, I would say.
Okay, great. Awesome to do that. So then, is there any tools or tips or methods that you would recommend to our listeners as far as some website lead generation?
Yeah, so I usually have like this micro topics that I go to. The first thing, when looking at websites, the first thing is great positioning goes a long way, and e-messaging related to positioning also goes a long way. So it's really important to have positioning locked in and messaging locked in within our website, because that is the main differentiator of where I just landed in terms of homepage, in terms of all of the website, and if this type of partner or client or agency does what we are looking for. So that is my main area. The second one is having a conversion mindset across teams. So usually when building a website, you don't only have the marketing team working on the website. You also have probably engineers and designers. So if you can lay out the mindset on conversion, that's really important. Another thing that I would mention is having that back engine really working. So it's not only important to putting out a landing page occasionally, it's important also getting the website throughout on a day-to-day basis. So keeping it up to date. So it's important to have a good functional back engine. So functional team, maybe some automation, making sure processes are working. I would also add a fourth one, which is having an experimental mindset. So testing out, doing A/B testing along the way, not really having only in consideration your intuition or what you think it might work. Actually testing this or testing an opinion or a suggestion, maybe from the C-suite, it's really important, because we are not dealing with opinions. We are dealing with, we should deal with data, raw data.
Okay, awesome. Some great insights there for our listeners, Claudia. And well, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about you as a leader. You being the marketing manager there for Pixel Matters, what are some key tasks you like to focus on your day-to-day work?
So right now I'm managing a marketing team, which consists of social media manager, content manager, and a designer. Usually my responsibilities on a day-to-day basis are guiding the marketing team. So giving all of the possibilities, whether that's tool processes in different areas, so they can work on their best. Also, what I do besides the marketing team is guarantee that marketing does a great job in helping the company. A lot of the times we look within marketing and we don't necessarily think, okay, so how can marketing itself help the company and the business grow? So usually that's where I start. I usually go to the C-suite and ask usually the CEO and the rest of the leadership team, how can marketing help today and in the next quarter and in this year? How can marketing align with business goals? And usually these are my main core responsibilities on a daily basis without going to micro.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your insights. So in your times then, how do you stay up to date with the marketing world as far as news, strategies, trends? Is there a preferred channel that you like to go with, Claudia?
Usually, I think a lot of people within my bubble say podcasts. I'm not a podcast person. I'm more of a newsletter person. Besides this newsletter, and we have a lot of them, when people say I'm following 10 newsletters, they're probably just following 3 or 4. That's my main my go-to is 3 or 4 newsletters that I usually follow. One tip I would add here is use I don't know if anyone knows this, but the Hey product from Basecamp, they have an email service, and within that email service, they have a feature which is the feed. And the feed is great for reading newsletters, like you are scrolling through a LinkedIn feed, for example. So it's great in terms of catching up of the newsletters that you are following. Another thing that I go to is to LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is basically on my day-to-day and following the right people, I would say, and having connections with the right people. Not necessarily all need to be industry leaders, but sometimes following the people within the area that you want to learn more, either that's product marketing or content marketing, just follow the people that work in that area. Usually you can gain great insights there. Like in the other day, I was catching up on LinkedIn after vacation, but I just checked one update from someone about Google AI Overview. They just launched it. And it was an SEO consultant, and he was giving his perspective on the launch. And from that, I basically get their insight and all the features. And I brought this within the marketing team at Pixel Matters. So usually, my LinkedIn and my newsletters are the go-to in terms of catching up.
Okay, awesome. Some great knowledge there for our listeners, some great strategies there. Well, let's jump into our next section then here, Claudia, which is our rapid fire question rounds.
Yep.
Ready for that?
Yeah, sure.
All right, perfect. Then first off, Claudia, is what is the last book that you read?
So one of the last books that I've read was Crossing the Chasm. I also read I think it was the five dysfunctions of a team, which is actually an interesting book on of leadership, and it's perfect for anyone who is developing leadership skills, but it puts the learnings in a storytelling way, which is kind of interesting. So these two, I would say, are perfect for leadership, and the Crossing the Chasm for marketing in general, but especially for product marketing.
All right, thank you so for that interesting read there for our listeners. Next up then is, if there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
So one thing that throughout the years I have this in mind is having like a dashboard where you can have all the analytics within one single screen. So social media, Google Analytics, even data from your CRM, all in one place. That would be amazing.
I think that would be
that would be amazing.
Next up then is, if there's one repetitive task that you could automate, what would that be?
So I think this already exists because I got to use one tool that does this, but it's basically integrate everything on my work process. So usually when I'm scheduling a task that I'm going deep on that task, I usually get it on my calendar. But it's not synced with for example, my to-doist or Basecamp. So having one place where I can integrate all of this, Slack, Basecamp, Todoist, it would be awesome.
Okay, interesting. And well, lastly, then, Claudia, you have already the experience, right? But what is that one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
So I would say don't be afraid of be more active and reach out to the community. Sometimes we are just laying on the shadows and not really talking to the people that are behind the screen. And I gained so much throughout the years, especially in recent years, in reaching out to people on the other side. So either that's industry leaders or people that are working on your area. So let's say you are in content marketing, reach out to people that are working in content marketing that are within similar companies that you are working with. You would find a lot of people that are going through the same challenges. And it's super important to share insights and share difficulty. So, yeah, I would say that be more active and reach out more.
Definitely. Okay, some great advice there, not just for you, for our listeners as well. And well, lastly, then, we are coming to the end of the show here, Claudia. But before we do end, I do want to give you the last word. Say someone forgets everything about the interview today. What is that one thing they should remember about Pixel Matters?
Wow. One thing that you should remember about Pixel Matters is that it's not only the pixel that matters, at least for Pixel Matters. We have a great culture, I would say, and this is something that is a differentiator within all of the other agencies out there. So we actually go a little deep than just the pixels. So that's one of the things that I would point out about Pixel Matters.
Okay, awesome. Great. Well, to our listeners, check them out at pixelmatters.com. Your product, their craft, impactful collaborations. Claudia, thank you so much for being on with us today. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to our next episode at PathMonk Presents. Thanks a lot, Claudia.
Thank you.